From the outside, restaurants seem like the easiest business to market. Food photos, Instagram influencers, a few buy one get one offers, maybe a birthday ad, a newsletter, and bang, you have a great and easy restaurant marketing strategy. However, once you scratch the surface, you'll see that most people tell you to avoid this industry like the plague.
So let's say you get them 50 customers in a month, 50 leads, or even 100 leads. That's not going to move the needle.
I'm actually going to say avoid to restaurant.
Think about how optimized your ads have to be, because that $20 isn't all profit.
The restaurant business model was never built for marketing. It's one of the most word-of-mouth dominant industries in the world and has notoriously slim margins, thus giving rise to the paradox. How do you market a business that isn't built to market? Restaurants are a notoriously difficult industry to market. They've got 5 reasons why, and each on their own is a challenge, and together I think they form a bit of a marketing nightmare. Firstly, they're low ticket, so each customer coming in doesn't provide the business with lots of money. Secondly, they're low margins, so even though they're selling low ticket products, it still costs a lot to deliver on those low tickets. Thirdly, there's high saturation. There is lots of places that you can go and eat lunch, dinner, breakfast in your local area, in walking distance. You don't really stand out that much. And that leads on to my 4th point, low differentiation. Lots of the options are rather similar, and it's very hard to stand out. And finally, small target market, and this is probably the most crippling for the majority of restaurants out there. People will only go so far for dinner or lunch, so really you are confined to the people in your local area. How is it then that some agencies are thriving and crushing it for their clients? And what lessons can we learn from solving this paradox? Back in the day when we were in the beginning of our marketing journey and between university exams, I would sit in the car because I was too scared. Well, Daniel would do cold walk-ins to any business that we could find and beg for a free trial. So we used to do this for chiros, dentists, restaurants, etc. And one of those clients was a restaurant in downtown Auckland called Miss Claudie's. And this was probably the first time that we ever ran an ad for a client, and it worked. And the owner was also happy enough to pay for the service after our free trial and give us a testimonial. So we stopped working with all our other clients and thought, look, restaurants, this is super easy, let's just go for them. So we stopped working for all our other clients and focused on doing food photography and sort of buy one get one style offers. We started bringing on clients rapidly. We would do cold walk-ins and then offer them a free trial, and then they'd get pretty good results in their first month and want to stay on. And we're sort of following in the footsteps of like Misfit Media and Matt Plapp and all the people along those sorts of lines, though a lot of them have changed in the last couple of years, and this video will sort of break down why they've changed and how they've changed to adapt to the problems as they arise. But one of the problems we noticed pretty quickly was clients started to drop off. Though offers brought people in, the numbers just didn't really stack up after a little while, and it's really hard to convince restaurant owners who are typically quite small business owners to keep going. And I'll show you a little bit why. So let's say your marketing costs the venue $1,200 a month, and that was very cheap. I think we're probably the cheapest out there doing it. And clients, let's say on average, just an industry average, had 10% margins. So in order for the profit that they're making off the people you're bringing in to make sense, you'll need to make the venue $12,000 in sales a month, and that doesn't even include the cost of goods on the free offer. So if you're doing buy one get one burgers, that doesn't include the cost of goods on the burger. Let's say the average check for people that you're bringing off these offers was $50. You would need to do 250 redemptions a month, and with $500 in ad spend, that means that you need to get people in the venue for about $2, which is just not going to happen. That's a ridiculously cheap cost to get somebody in. So people try to solve this in different ways. Some agencies just multiplied the revenue by 7 because the average customer comes in 7 times a year. which may be the case for some venues, but it did feel like a very fluffy idea to sell venues on. And it was hard to look a client in the eyes and say, hey, just multiply the revenue by 7 and that's the reality of what you're looking at. What happened in truth was that the product worked very well for venues that were already doing well. Because people, in fact, would come back. And hence, if you sold it as a top of funnel ad, meaning, you bring people in and then you do a really good job and then you bring them in for a second time and a third time and then they start to build some brand affiliation with the venue, then it would make sense. However, most of the venues that want to come on for these sorts of marketing services that we found were in trouble already because the product that they were selling wasn't an ideal fit for their local market. This is another reason why I'm giving away a lot of this content for free, because if you are a struggling venue out there, the numbers probably aren't going to make sense unless you do it yourself. So hopefully these videos will help you do it yourself. So we had around 100 venues using this product because we could easily sell it, essentially was the reason why, not because everyone was crushing it, but that's just the truth. So we had around 100 venues using this product, but we knew that most venues would only last about 3 months. So they would stay for 3 months and then they'd say, hey guys, the first month was great, the second month was okay, and now the numbers just don't stack up, they don't make sense. And so we were struggling to figure out how to move forward because we had to sell 30 venues a month to just keep the revenue the same. So we had to make a sale a day to not move backwards, and we had to start bringing on employees to help with the workload. And we were losing faith that the product would actually work. And then COVID hit. So how do you solve this paradox? How do you solve marketing a business that is not built to market? So during lockdown, I moved into Daniel's flat so that we could keep working on the problem. Everyone we talked to said that you should go after a niche that could sell high ticket, and that way each customer you brought in would be significantly more valuable and there would be margin and therefore marketing and sales. But obviously restaurants don't sell high ticket. Or do they? We had a bit of a light bulb moment while sitting on the floor in Daniel's flat. And a good portion of the venues that we work with actually did have a high ticket product. They sold private events. And this was an idea that we have run with ever since. All of a sudden margin made a lot more sense. And to add to this, we decided that if we targeted weekday corporates, it would not interfere with their day-to-day trade, and hence it would make even more sense. This was also a product that venues who already were crushing it would benefit from. So pretty much all venues want more weekday corporates. It was a product that they sold outside of their traditional business model, and hence it made sense to market. Obviously, I wouldn't say that we've cracked it, but if you squint hard enough, we've at least solved most of the restaurant SMMA paradox. Interestingly enough though, every other agency out there who has solved this paradox has done it in a different way. And if you're a marketing agency, I'd recommend you find your own way to solve it. So Misfit Media rebranded, changed the design line, and I don't want to put words in the mouth of what they exactly do, but to my understanding, they offer a SaaS solution that helps to ensure that the venue makes the most out of the leads that are coming into the business. So this increases the lifetime value per customer and decreases the amount of work for the venue. Agencies like Serve Agency, which was formerly Food Shop, which is a business that we had some interaction with in Australia, they provide a full service marketing solution that requires a bunch of work to deliver, but it helps the venues to increase brand awareness over a longer time frame. And having that longer time frame makes a lot of the marketing make a lot more sense, because what you're trying to do is increase brand awareness rather than bringing people in and essentially calculating the ROI up front on your ads. So Matt Platt, I believe, still focuses heavily on database creation and management. And again, that's about increasing the lifetime value of each customer through repeat visits. So these are a few different ways that you can go about tackling the restaurant SMMA paradox by either changing the focus of the marketing or looking to change the business model. So, Mr. Beast, for example, changed the business model. So, a few key lessons for marketers. If you are looking to provide marketing services for restaurants, due to the nature of restaurants, traditional SMMA services just don't work for the majority of clients. So you could look at the following options. You could get them selling high ticket, so they would be looking at catering, functions, full venue buyouts. You could look at increasing the lifetime value per customer by encouraging repeat visits through growing and using a database effectively. You could look to increase or speed up the brand awareness for effective long-term growth, like through that competition to SMS video that I made the other week. Or you could help them more effectively deal with their current demand. So you could, instead of bringing customers to the door, you can solve other problems within the business, like the effort and sacrifice that the owner or people within the business have to make to deliver on their services or to keep up with demand. So those are some key lessons that I think you can take from solving this paradox for the marketers of you out there. So if you're a restaurant owner or you work in-house, my best advice to you would be to focus on amplifying positive word of mouth. So take a long-term approach to marketing. I'm not saying marketing does not work for restaurants. What I'm saying is the traditional SMMA approach to marketing, which is you spend money now and you make more money at the end of the month, doesn't work for the get more bums on seats model of restaurant marketing. You need to take a longer term approach, in my opinion. Word of mouth is the backbone of growing your customer base. So you want to come up with marketing plans that help to support the growth of that word of mouth. So another thing that I just want to touch on is that if you feel like your product is awesome and you know that it works because this is your second or third venue with the same concept, then you can go about offering promotions to get bums on seats. But you should do so with the intention of amplifying positive word of mouth. To be fair though, a lot of venues and a lot of businesses that they're opening their second or third concept, they do make good money from the traditional coupon style broadcasts to the local market on social media, which I've got videos showing you how to do that. But that's because they know that they're going to get positive word of mouth from the product that they're pushing to the local market. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it helped to enlighten you. P.S. A like, subscribe, or comment gives me the dopamine to keep making these videos. So I appreciate y'all. Peace.